And finally, multi-billionaire Elon Musk has caused a bit of a stir by hinting that he may buy Twitter or set up a rival social media platform. Musk posted, given that Twitter serves as the de facto public town square, failing to adhere to free speech principles fundamentally undermines democracy. What should be done? Douglas, there's no doubt that big tech leans heavily in one direction, and we've already seen the eagerness of such platforms to censor and suppress legitimate stories. We saw that with the New York Post Hunter Biden laptop stories in the lead up to the 2020 election. Could Musk possibly correct that? Could he bring some balance into that arena and give us a platform that's got genuine free speech principles?
It's a very interesting question. And of course, when Musk says that Twitter is the de facto public square, he's both correct and signaling part of the problem, because of course, Twitter is the most dementing platform of any social media platform. It's the one on which people behave most irrationally, most cruelly, most vilely, and expose themselves at their very worst. So if the town discussion in the world these days sounds a bit demented, it is because Twitter is the town square, as Musk said. Of course, there's a lot that could be done about it. And the question, as always, is, can the institution change, or does another institution have to be set up? The rather thrilling thing about Elon Musk speculating about this is, of course, he is one of the very few people in the world who could just buy Twitter in the same way that most of us can sort of buy a coffee in the morning. So it would be very interesting to see Twitter taken into hands that actually understands principles like free speech. Of course, there's a challenge, though, isn't there? Because we've seen various people trying to set up rival platforms. There's been Parler. That still exists, but it's been battered by the mainstream tech platforms and indeed the media. There are other platforms that have been getting going in recent years. Donald Trump, of course, announced that he was going to have his own sort of social media platform. I don't think that's the answer. I think that it would be great if there was a sort of rival to Twitter that could end up eating its lunch. One of the problems of it, though, is that all of the ones that are set up in order to sort of correct the unbelievably leftward-leaning tendency of Twitter end up having the risk of being sort of echo chambers in which people don't get that scintillating taste of the stupidity of their opponents. And so that is what you'd have to recreate. But if you could just recreate a platform which just wasn't biased against conservatives and against what's often just true, that would be a heck of a start. But Elon Musk would be a great person to do it.
I hope he does. I hope he just buys Twitter, because I think you're right. Every time a rival platform is set up, it falls into the same problems that Twitter has had, just in the other direction. So if he buys Twitter, that could change things.
Here's an idea, Rita. How about we persuade Elon Musk to buy Twitter and then send it into outer space?
That would be good for humanity indeed. Douglas
Wouldn't
Murray,
it
thank you
just?
for joining me tonight.
Great pleasure.